A very good morning. My name is Fabio and we're going to be analyzing the major dollar pairs and of course gold. So EUR USD sold off pretty heavily in towards the downside yesterday, and what is the reason for it? Well, first of all, technically we are of course still very bearish, as we have been saying all along. At no point in time have we been looking for longs. Furthermore, we tapped into a 4-hour supply zone, and yesterday we saw a 4-hour change of character low get broken in towards the downside. So we are looking for further shorts today. But what was the other fundamental reason why EUR USD sold off? Now, if we look here at forexfactory.com, you can very clearly see that British supplied Storm Shadow missiles have been fired at targets in Russia for the very first time. So Ukraine has been using UK missiles and is therefore dragging the West into a war with Russia, which is of course bringing on a very risk-on sentiment. So what is a risk-on sentiment? Well, everybody's moving into these, let's say, less riskier asset classes, right, or currencies. So you're seeing strength in the dollar, you're seeing strength in the Swiss pairs, yen pairs, and of course gold. So take that into account when trading for the rest of the week, that we can see further strength from these dollar pairs. Luckily, this is in line with the overall bias from a technical perspective that we already had, because if you look here now at the 4-hour time frame, the current fractal high here on EUR USD is the high over here. This is now your fractal low. What we're doing, in my opinion, is that we're building up liquidity above these highs, and I would like to see one more push further in towards the highs, in towards this 4-hour supply zone, and then look for lower time frame confirmation and use this high over here as my liquidity high. Dive into the 1-hour time frame and you can then very clearly see that we are currently reacting to this area of supply. Now, selling from these kind of areas of supply is not ideal and has a far lower probability than selling from this area of supply. Now, why is that? Well, because there's no liquidity in the overall push down. Therefore, you very often, or more often than not, see this supply zone itself become the liquidity. Or second option is that we get another push up, we liquidate our initial high, and then we see another change of character, and then we look for a shorting opportunity. So all across the board, there are free shorting opportunities, either on this double high break over here, after this high break over here, or seeing it like a change of character in that higher time frame area of supply. Going into the daily time frame real quick, you can also see yesterday a strong daily bearish candle close. So let's keep an eye open for potential further shorts, but we definitely need to see just a little bit more development. I'm not looking to get in just yet over here. Furthermore, we also have equal highs over here above these two highs, right? So looking to take that out first before looking for a short. Going into the dollar index, if we focus here on the daily time frame, you can see that yesterday we saw a daily bullish candle close after coming down into these 2 wicks over here. Dropping down into the 4-hour time frame, we can also see that the overall momentum further in towards the highs sustained. That demand zone which we highlighted yesterday played out very beautifully, and we've now broken above the 4-hour fractal highs once again. So now focusing here on the dollar index, I would like to see maybe one more push down, come back down into this refined sell before the buy, and then continue on its leg up higher. The dollar index for now is still extremely bullish. If we look at the daily, if we look at the 4-hour, there are no signs of slowing down just yet, so take that into account when trading it. In addition, the fundamental news about this situation here is of course also causing the dollar to be bullish as well. Going into AUD USD, what are we seeing on that side? Well, this is the exact reason yesterday why I mentioned that I was not yet interested in a short, because you could have gotten your hands burned on this retracement over here. You can very clearly see that demand is still in control, so I'm still just going to be waiting for the lows to break. Is there a higher probability of us pushing down lower? Obviously yes. Like I said yesterday, I'm not looking or interested for longs from this demand zone, simply because the overall trend is still bearish in towards the downside. So yes, you can trade these kind of pullbacks, and Aussie dollar could pull back all the way back up in towards this monthly level over here, maybe take out all of these descending highs that we have and push up in towards this liquidity high and the monthly open level, and then for example drop down lower. But these trades are just so far lower probability that you always want to be trading with the trend, right? So the ideal trade is to get in on this trade over here or on this trade over here, right? So these are the two ideal options here for Aussie dollar. Going into pound dollar, so GBP USD, what are we seeing on that pair? So GBP USD pushed down lower yesterday. Again, I'm not trading GU at the moment just because of the overall consolidative nature that we have here on this pair. You can very clearly see that we're just, again, stuck inside of this box. So I'll be staying out of this. If you're trading a range, obviously you can look to get into a potential long. This is pretty much the range that you have over here. And I have a range trading tool over here. Let's make the lines a bit thicker. And then what you'll see is that the 75% mark is acting as resistance, 25% mark is acting as support. So for me, it's just not interesting to get into this at this point in time. It's not respecting highs and lows. So let's focus on some other pairs like AU and EU. Going into NU next, so NZD USD. NZD USD has broken the lows as opposed to AUD USD. What we can see on this pair is that after coming into that 4-hour area of supply over here, what happens? We see a strong sell-off. Then we break here the 4-hour fractal low. This is now your 4-hour fractal high. This is now your 4-hour fractal low break. So what I'm now looking for, and we can already kind of see it, is that we've already tapped into this buy before the sell over here on today's candlestick over here, and we're selling off. I want to see follow through in towards the downside and get in on the overall supply chain further in towards the downside. I am keeping in mind that we do have equal highs over here. So it is still possible that we come back up to grab liquidity above those highs. Keep that in mind, that it is still definitely a possibility. So don't get in on shorts too aggressively. To be honest, if I look here at the 15, I also don't really see any strong 15-minute areas of supply. So I'll be waiting for some further development at this point in time. All I can say is that the 4-hour fractal structure at this point in time is bearish, and that we are following the order flow in towards the downside for now. So let's keep on focusing on that for NU. If we break the high of this bullish candle over here, we'll need to wait for some new development. Going into gold, last of all, we can currently see that gold is just continuously pushing. Again, this is because of the fundamental news that we have received about Ukraine and Russia. So looking at gold, I am not looking to sell this at all. I would just focus on a continuous longing opportunities. So go back down into the daily time frame. Again, you can see the overall momentum is still definitely bullish on gold. We simply grab liquidity underneath these two lows. So yes, you have a supply zone over here, but this supply zone just facilitated a push in towards these two liquidity lows for myself. So I'll just be focusing on the overall trend, which is still bullish. And let's see if we can trap a few shorters looking to short from that area of supply. And then we can look to get in on some further buys in towards the upside. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to tune in to Discord, link in the description down below. We'll also be doing a live stream during the New York session, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.